How do you best move from just testing for visual impairment to broader accessibility issues?
So this is where we go back a little bit to the usability. So it's understanding your product and what value it's trying to deliver. So typically, if you're accessing the general public, then you've got to look at a broader range of products. If you're providing a product specifically for a company or specifically for a team, for example, and you know that team has challenges specifically around, neurodiversity or any other challenge that they may have, then that gives you a route in to start looking at something other than just visual impairment. I think the transition is about doing a bit of an experiment on your product. One thing I mentioned this before, but we did an emotional review of our product. What we did basically as a test team is not as a test team, as a whole development team. We got people from across the development team to just sit down, use the product for an hour or two, and write down every page they went on, every navigation they went through. They just wrote down one thing of how they felt and about that bit of the site. So frustrated, or really liked it, or it stood out, or whatever. Then we got together as a team and we went through each page, and everybody called out what they'd written down for that page. And at the end of that, we reviewed those things, the things that were coming out the most popular things that had come up across using the site. And it's like I say, it crosses over with usability, but we looked at it and we said, of these things, which of these would be beneficial from a usability perspective, and out of those things, which give us value from an accessibility perspective, which of these are morally the right things to be addressing. And we took the top 5 in the end, and said, right, we're going to understand these better, understand the implication of the site and the changes we need to do, and put something in place to make sure we catch these in the future.
That is cool. I've never heard of that before. An emotion. What do you call it? An emotional.
We did emotion. We called it an emotional review. There's probably a better way of describing it, but it was basically a look and feel of going through the site. But it was we didn't want to get into. It was too many clicks. We wanted it to be the raw feeling of using the site. Was I frustrated with that bit? Was I? And that drive down from there to what was causing that, and doing some root cause around that, and understanding it better. And that brought out things that we'd probably wouldn't have identified, or wouldn't have been quite as prominent had we not done that exercise.
How did you then measure the effectiveness afterwards? So did you do another one afterwards, or was there some metric that
we did another one, but we didn't necessarily cover. What we did is we reviewed those with the product. So we had I think we had 2 or 3 customers in the end who we did a live review with and asked them their feedback. And of those 3, I think it was 2 of them called out things that we changed as a result of that review that we did.
Nice.
So that gave us a bit of a feel that it was beneficial. Unfortunately, we only got 1 more in before I left that business. So, and I've not had the opportunity to try it again since. But
okay, that's awesome. So an emotional review, folks. That's one for the toolkit.
Look and feel, yeah, whatever.
I dig it.